Let's take a look at the layers and group. When you create a complex artwork, it's usually a challenge to keep track of all the objects that we're using. In this case, we have the Ferris wheel. We have certain cabins around this wheel, and we have the base of the Ferris wheel, and there are several other objects related to the construction of this artwork. Small items tend to get hidden behind the larger items, and it's really hard to find them and work with them if we are not organized. The best way to organize yourself is using the layers and the groups. Think of layers as clear folders that contain artworks. Same way you can move the items between folders and some folders, you can also move items between layers and groups by default when you start an artwork to create one layer for you so that you can work on. You can also reorganize all of this artwork by creating new layers. You can also hide layers like you can also hide layers, change layers, appearance, and attributes. You can even create a layered template. Now let's see how you can do all of this stuff. Remember, we are using the very same workspace that we previously discussed. Now this is the layers panels right in front of you. In case you don't see the layer panel, then I'm going to show how to get it. Let's say you have something like this. You don't see the layers panel. Then you need to go back to the Windows menu, go to the workspace, and then choose Reset My Workspace. And there you'll see your layers panel back. And even if this doesn't work, you can go to I'm going to take it off again. Go to Windows menu, and then you can go to Layers, activate this using clicking on this option, or you can use the shortcut F7. Here we have the layers now. We can just simply click and drag and dock it in like so. Now here, this is my layer and this is my visibility. If I click off the eye, I will switch off the visibility of the artwork. I don't see my artwork anymore. Now these are the groups within the layers. I can just toggle and switch. There is currently a one layer, and within one layer these are the different groups. And here clicking on this will just toggle a lock, and I won't be able to edit this layer anymore unless this layer is blank. If this layer will be blank, then I'll be able to edit. Otherwise I will not be able to do that. If I click on this, the artwork within this layer will be selected. As you can see, this is now selected, and I can make any changes within this artwork. Double clicking on this option will give me an option to rename the layer. Currently it is layer 1. I'd like to keep it like that. Next we have an option of creating new layers. Here we're going to take a look at how to organize all of these into separate layers. Let's take a new layer for now. As you can see, there are groups. Within group there are other options: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In case I have too many layers, then I can just click, select the layer, and then go delete like that. If I have too many, I want to select multiple layers, then I can control click and select, or else I can just hold shift and go to bottom, select all of the layers between these two will be selected, and I can go ahead and delete the layer. So here we have different cabins. Here's red cabin, blue cabin, pink cabin, and orange cabin. So I'm going to create them very separate in this artwork. Let's say this is red cabin 1. Red cabin 2. Pink cabin 1. pink cabin 2, orange cabin 1, orange cabin 2, blue cabin 1, and blue cabin 2. Okay, now I'm going to open up my art. Open this layer group. I'm just gonna click and drag within the layer. When you see this blue highlight, release the object, and it will be inserted into that particular layer. Not here, not above. Set perfectly on this blue highlight. Release the object, and it will be placed in that particular layer. Let's do for the orange cabin as well. Be careful with the selection. Next we have the pink cabin 1, pink cabin 2, blue cabin 1 and 2, and this will be the base structure. Let's just take it here. Notice that this is overlapping this my orange cabin because this layer is on the top. So I'm going to take this layer below here like so, and I'm going to rename this as the base. Okay. Now, as you can see, these layers have different colors. I can double click on the layer and change the color like so. Click on this and change it to, let's say, black. Black is already used, so green, maybe yellow. Okay, yellow is not used, so okay, I'm going to give yellow. I can even log the layer from here or make it a template. Currently show, print, and preview on. Dim images to 50% opacity, and I can also go ahead and rename the layer. Okay, so now if I click on this object, it will be particularly in yellow. The bounding box and the objects have yellow bounding box. Red color, we have this, click on this, and there we have that color. And this, I'll have the green color. So each and every separate layer will have a separate color. Also, you can keep these colors same by just going and clicking in within this if you don't want different colors. Now I have few options here. Let's take a look at this blue cabin. I can right click on this and I have an option of duplicate blue cabin. In case I want to copy this blue cabin 1, I can just go ahead and within this option and give duplicate cabin 1. I have few other options as well. We'll take a look at that in the next videos. Currently we'll just do the duplicate cabin 1, and there I have my duplicate cabin 1 copy. Here I'm going to select that. If I move it around, the cabin stays because we had a duplicate overlapping the original copy. So I'm going to go click, and I can make as many copies as I want. Just take another one, so it's going to make a copy 2, and duplicate again. I can make as many copies as I want. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that because I'm not going to need those copies for now. Now within this layer we have the group. I can just open the layer and I can see the group within the layer, and within the group there are these certain objects that you can see. I can also go ahead and rename the group like cabin, but it's not a good practice to rename the group because we'll always be ungrouping and grouping that, and if I just in case go ungroup, then the name will be gone. So let's keep it as it is, and within the group I can go within the group and select the object like this. I can also select this and give a duplicate ellipse, and it gave duplicate ellipse above all. I'm going to go ahead and undo that as I don't need the ellipse for now. So I can also go ahead and make this whole artwork as one single group. I'm going to select this and give Control G, and you can see all of these have now been grouped into one layer. That's not a good practice to do that. I'll just keep it as in separate layers to make things organized. So why do I need to make so many layers for the object? Now there are several reasons. One of them is to organize your artwork and painting when it's complex. Another reason is when you want to use this object in other applications inside Creative Cloud. For example, let's say I want to make a motion graphics with this artwork. I'll use After Effects, and I can move Illustrator file to After Effects and then make the motions, because the objects are separated. After Effects will understand that each one of this individual object has to move. So if you want to prepare a file to be in future was to be animated, you can do that by making layers. And for one the components that you want to make create animation, let's see an example of this. And this is an example of animation that was created in After Effects. The wheel is moving, it's rotating clockwise. Also the cabins are changing as well.